Okay, everybody, we're stepping into our final week, week 3 of 21 days of prayer and fasting, and we're shifting the focus once again. Week 1 taught us to be still, whereas in week 2 invited us to really just press into the Lord. And now in week 3, we're going to go somewhere a little bit deeper. We're talking about surrender, just being fully surrendered to God. And surrender is one of those words that sounds real spiritual, but feels personal the moment that God asks for it. Surrender isn't about losing control. It's about giving Jesus full access. Jesus says it plainly in Luke chapter 9, verse 23, whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves, take up their cross, and follow me. Listen, that's not a call to comfort. That's a call to really trust. That's an invitation to release what we're gripping so tightly and place it into his hands. One of the clearest pictures of surrender in Scripture is found in Luke chapter 7, the woman with the alabaster jar. She enters a room she doesn't belong in, a religious space filled with judgment, reputation, and unspoken rules, and she brings with her the most valuable thing she owns, a jar of perfume that represents her security, her future, her very worth. Internally, she's likely carrying fear, the fear of being misunderstood, or exposure, the fear of that vulnerability, and what would cost her more than she might be ready to give. Externally, there was almost certainly pressure, whispered opinions, watching eyes, the quiet tension of a room that didn't feel safe for someone like her. But she comes anyway. And here's what's so powerful. She doesn't say a word. She simply pours her gift out on the feet of Jesus. Listen to me, surrender is not weakness, it's worship. There's something in this story that we can't miss. Simon, a religious leader who hosted Jesus, but this woman worshiped Jesus. One made space for him in his home, the other made space for Jesus in her heart. And surrender often looks like that, choosing worship over control, trust over self-protection, release over restraint. Surrender might look like releasing a relationship that you've been trying to control, or letting go of a plan, a schedule. Maybe it's a financial worry or a future you've been holding together by just sheer effort. Sometimes it means releasing the thing that we rely on to cope, the habits of comfort that we've been unwilling to lay down. And this is where fasting takes on a whole new meaning in week 3. Fasting becomes an act of surrender. A prayer says, Lord, I'm not just giving you my appetite, I'm giving you my will. It's laying down control. It's losing our grip. It's trusting that whatever we place at the feet of Jesus will never come back to us the same. So here's your invitation today. Ask yourself this very simple question. What is my alabaster jar? What is the thing God is gently asking you to place into his hands? Not out of pressure, not out of fear, but out of trust. Because listen, surrender doesn't lead to loss, it leads to freedom. And this is where week 3 begins. Let's go.